The familiar doorbell to Shanghai rings out as Hanako enters and makes her way to the table we're sitting at.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Hi Hanako, what's up?
Nothing, just going for a walk since the weather was nice.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I'm glad I decided to study here instead of the library. It's comfortable in here thanks to that, better than the sometimes quite stuffy library. I looked at Yuko, who nods in response. No, I've searched up on Google, because in the game they make out burn scars to be, like, quite nice. Like, burn scars not to be that bad in the game. But then I searched up Google burnt scars, and I'm just like, it looks way much worse in real life, trust me. It's just a shame that summer can't last forever. Oh wait, sorry, would you like a drink? Hanako shakes her head, thankfully it's enough to calm Yuko back down.
How are you going with studying?
Okay, ish. Oh yeah, have you talked to Lele? I'm interested too, how's she doing?
She's enjoying it, I think.
I think that's all we're going to get out of her before being around Yuko's tension her up. It'd be nice to travel to Scotland! Green fields, castles, lovely small town, men in kilts, interesting history. Can't say I've seen a pile of men in kilts myself, but it does seem like a picturesque place though. As we talk, the jingle of the doorbell rings again. Hanako is startled, noticing Yuko's panicked expression, the prospect that she might leave customers to wait a handful of seconds due to her chatter with us. Yuko gives us a quick bow and hastily skitters over and greets the new customers, an elderly man and his wife. I watch her for a bit, caning my head around to get a good view. Hanako is staring at me with her one visible eye. You mean the one eye we see every single time and we've never seen the other eye? Yeah, I'm pretty sure she has only one eye now. Nah. She averts her head in embarrassment as I turn to make eye contact. I was just thinking that it's nice to have ambitions for the future. Yuko was telling me a little about her university aspirations before. Oh? It's a shame if she wasn't so neurotic and overworked. I think she could be a really happy person. As much as I like to play host to Hanako and entertain her a bit, I do need to study as well. To be honest, I don't think the distraction from Yuko helped either. I never study, I just get it. Sorry if I'm a bit distracted, I need to try and get this done. Otherwise I'm going to flunk the history exams pretty hard. I'm left running my hand through my hair in frustration. That letter needs doing as well once I get back to my dormitory room. Hope I have more luck with that than this, darn.
What with?
Oh, I was going to write to Iwanako right now though, this is more important. All I've done is rattle myself. I can't focus on the work in front of me when my stomach is slowly turning into the prospect of actually attempting to write her back after all this time. I forced myself to concentrate on the book, picking up my pens once I have a quick sip of coffee. After a few seconds, Hanako stops silently watching me and leans back in her seat, relaxing as much as she ever seems to be able to, looking out the window to pass the time. She stayed like this for a long time before leaving for the dormitories together. Surprised she had the patience to wait me out. Oh no. Iwanako's letter lies on my desk besides a blank sheet of lined paper, and an unused envelope. Tapping on my pen is the only thing to be heard this late at night. As I feared, my second task for the day turns out to be just as difficult as the first, if not harder. It's been so many months since we even saw each other. Even so, I can still remember what she looked like, what she sounded like, and what she acted like. By now, though, the little details are beginning to slip away. When I first saw her letter, I barely recognized her handwriting at all. Even the pink pen she always used was forgotten until her writing reminded me of it. I wonder why she didn't use it for the letter. She used to write everything with it. Maybe she thinks it's too immature now. I should be thinking about myself and about what I want to communicate to her. My mind can't stop concentrating on her, though on the past we shared before it was taken away so suddenly. The bright and slightly garish decorations suit her sense of aesthetics. Picking up the letter to take a closer look at it, I give it a long sigh. This is the last link binding me to my past. Iwanako didn't suddenly cease to exist when she left my hospital room for the last time. But I needed this letter to remind me of that. I had all those feelings neatly filed away. I felt as if I didn't need them. That I could just begin life completely anew. It was easier that way. In the end, I suppose it was a rather naive thing to think. Sooner or later, my past would have caught up with me one way or the other. What am I supposed to say to her? Thank you for being closure? Thanks for bringing me closure? All the letter did was end the sense of closure I previously felt. Try as I might, I can't write so much as a single word down on the paper in front of me. I can't even think of what exactly I want to say. Putting the letter down on top of the blank sheet, I gathered the materials together and filed them away in my drawer. The clunk The desk makes as it closes, makes me momentarily tense and frustrated before I go to grab a drink from the vending machine on the first floor. I want a vending machine! I tried, but I couldn't do it. After all the time that's passed, I still don't know how to deal with Hanako. Jeez, what a library. The library, while not humming with activity, is noticeably more busy than usual. Exams are not far away, and that's reflected in the number of students banging their noses in textbooks at the tables around us. What? I've been studying quite a lot in the past few days, just like them, in hope of doing well in the exams. This also means that Hanako and I have been playing games less, so she began studying as well just to fill in the time. Nevertheless, I found myself forsaken by her on this particular day. Textbook in front of me has remained on the same page for some time. There's so much reading on the subject that I couldn't care less about it, not for the exams, and mine is beginning to wander. I find my eyes flicking over to where Hanako would usually be, just like on the days she wasn't in class. Her usual beanbag in the corner of the room is conspicuously unoccupied. It was here that we first really met. I tried to start a conversation with her. She got skittish and eventually bolted from the room altogether. I remember she was like, I better go do something. I probably shouldn't smile about it, but it was kind of amusing in hindsight. Nowadays, it's more and more difficult to imagine doing such a thing. Even with Lily gone, she's been doing well now that she's come out of her room. I want to talk with her, or at least play another game of chess. I forgot, I wanted to start playing chess, like on the computer. Could probably be the same way on board. The question of where to find Hanako isn't a particularly difficult one. She's not in the library, chances are she's either in the tea room for some peace and quiet, or in her dormitory room. Deciding to check them in that order, I pack up my books and make my way out of the library. I stretch and give out a loud groan as I walk down the hallway. Studying may be frustrating at times, but with the progress I feel I've made, there is some sense of pride in getting it done. It's a good feeling. There isn't a sound to be heard from inside as I stand in front of the door to Hanako's room. I guess that isn't very indicative of whether she's inside or not, given how quiet she usually is. Still, she wasn't in the tea room. I try knocking lightly to make presence known, but I'm surprised when I find the door unlocked and yielding at my touch. Whoa! With a small creak, the door opens. It looks like my suspicions were correct. Hanako is indeed here. She's sitting at the table with an open book in front of her. Pays it no heed as she keeps looking out the window. She looks utterly oblivious to my presence. With her head thoughtfully resting on her hand, she looks calm and collected. It's a shame she can't look like this more often. I probably would want to be like, guess who? No, just kidding. Like, boo! Smiling a little, I walk up to the table and softly speak to her. Good evening, Hanako. Hanako's head turns a little to see me, but she's only half there. I put a hand on the table and lower my head to look better at her face, mildly curious about what mood she's in. What's up? She gasps a little, finally acknowledging my presence in the room for the first time. Hanako's blushing nearly heavily. Her mouth is open just a little, as if paused mid-sentence. Most striking though is what she's doing. Whoa! Extreme close-up. She's looking directly at me. Her eyes are pinned on my own. From such a close distance, I can almost see a reflection in them. They don't turn away nor move at all. They're absolutely still, just looking into mine. I want to know if it's possible for people to have purple eyes. Just like somehow you could get it. They're dark, and well, if people can get green eyes, I hope they can get purple. Even when reading out subjects she had no interest in, she would appear to be wrapped in her work to a casual observer. She absorbs information very well, and even now I can feel that. I feel like I'm seeing something behind those eyes that I never saw before. I don't know what it is, though. Hanako? Her lips move just a little, slightly mouthing something. She looks like she's on the verge of saying something, but won't say it. But that's the way Hanako always is, on the verge of saying something, but never quite doing it. As I look intently. Sao? Toning down, I find myself blushing. I've been looking directly into Hanako's eyes for such a short distance, with absolutely no regard for her. She's been looking into mine without shirking away. I quickly look away while covering my face with my hand. Hanako does the same. Another awkward silence reigns. I hate these. At first I expected them as just being a fact of life around Hanako, but now they feel like there's an affirmation of how little we're able to communicate. Some anger makes its way in the complex mixture of emotions I'm feeling right now. I want to bridge that gap between us, friendship, and to tiptoe around each other like this. Before I speak before I can argue myself about what I'm going to do. My scarring isn't as bad as Hanako's, and I possibly can't compare my life to hers, but I want to show her that she's not alone. Doing this in such a blunt manner might be the only way to get my point across. Hanako, I want to show you something. Take a deep breath to promote myself. This could backfire badly, but I feel as if we've come close enough for this to be okay. I'm not going to make it or anything weird. I'm just going to take off my shirt. Alright, I'm back. I forgot to say Hanako's eyes go to the size of saucers. Her face is an amusing mixture of curiosity and nervousness as she stands. Helps take the edge off my own nervousness. Slowly, with my entire body feeling tense, I unknot my tie and begin to loose the first of the buttons. I'm trying to mentally block out Hanako to make this easier, but it's not really working. As I work my way down, I expect to hear some form of protest from her, but she remains silent. Though it makes me feel the last shit of my unbuttoned, I take a breath and look at her. Hanako's gaze is fixed on my scarring, as expected, and once I nod to say it's okay, she steps forward and attentively places her hand on the vertical lining running down my chest. No! A, that is not how a scar would look like if you just had surgery. I don't know if it's just because you got it on our chest, but I had mine from my surgery. It looks nothing like that. Bruh. The scarring on her hand, a pattern of damaged skin across the surface, contrasts with the single uniform line that makes up mine. Her hand isn't trembling at all, unlike what I predicted. This is a scar from the surgery that followed my heart attack. The surgeon had to cut open my chest to operate on my heart. I never knew. Hanako's words are calmer and softer than usual. The soft feelings of her fingers moving from my scar to my chest makes me hesitate a little before continuing on. You're the first person to see this since I left the hospital.
But why are you showing me this? Why are you showing this to me?
I wanted to prove my look at that grin I have. But I wanted to prove to myself that I could do this, that I could accept my past and move on. I wanted to show that to you as well. She nods. From her reaction, she seems to know how difficult this is for me. More than anything, the scar represents a visible reminder of my condition. A reminder that I'm not normal anymore. That's something that until now, I had tried my hardest to ignore. As the minutes tick by, Hanako's gaze lingers. Her eyes look less focused on my scarring than before. The situation feels a bit different than it previously did, and it makes me feel slightly uncomfortable. Her hand retreats and I draw my shirt close and begin to button it up. Her blushing face suddenly returns to its typical sense and timid state as she looks away. The room is completely silent as I fix my shirt and tie. As long as I got my suit and tie, everybody wrong. Feeling put off after such an unexpectedly intimate moment. So, I guess you're not the only one that's scarred. Hanako smiles a little at the joke, thankfully lightening the atmosphere a little.
Thank you, Hisao. I think I understand.
I give a long sigh of relief. I really didn't know how she'd take it, but I'm glad everything seems to have worked out as I hoped. Hanako's smile only proves that further. I'm finding the path I want to follow now, and what Hanako needs to do is to find her own. It's something I can help her with, and it's something that she needs to overcome a past in order to do. Hanako checks her watch. It's getting late by now. She has no watch! I can't speak, my voice hurts. From I Play America trip.
Hisao,
Yeah, I better be going. I'll be thankful for some sleep. It's been a long day after all. Good night, Hanako.
Good night.
Make my way out of her room and into the hallway, remaining silent as I do so. I think both of us have gone through a few emotions today. Yeah, you could say that again. The heat of the summertime sun beats down on my sweating brow. Dabbing of a handkerchief doesn't help too much in making me any more comfortable. Giving up the ideas of getting more done today, I stop and lean against one of the overpass fences and resting my bag on the ground. The stores in the town below Yamako are well stocked and offer enough variety for me to get by, so at least an occasional shopping trip to the city is something that can't really be avoided. I've been here a few times now. The city's layout is getting more familiar, and the nostalgia from the atmosphere is beginning to wear off. I realize that I've begun to wheeze. I sound like an old man that overexerted himself, having to connect at the fact that I'm the source is a bit disturbing. Put a hand on my chest and concentrate for a bit to make sure I haven't gone far enough. That is loud. Thankfully, my heart is active normally. There's no dull pain, and the beating is regular, albeit fast-paced, as I recovered from overdoing things in this kind of heat. I hate my body. It's frustrating to be held back. Even more to be held back by fear of my life being ended. When doing something so simple as walking around the city for a while. As I ponder on my health, I feel my pocket vibrating. By the time my phones begin to ring, my hand is who are you fishing for? A glance at the screen shows a caller number I don't recognize. Strange. Shrugging, I press the button to call the answer and bring the phone to my ear. Hello. Hisao Nakai speaking. ... Sounds of a couple of short breaths can be heard, but no actual speech is coming. All you hear is this. That's all you hear. I would have been like, hello. Hello?
Hisao?
Hanako. Her voice is really easy to place, even if I've never heard it over a phone before. Hanako. Sorry, I wasn't expecting you to call. What's up?
If you're not busy, I was wondering if you would. I like to
Meet up?
Yes. I mean,
Sounds really wound up after this. I can hear muffled voices in the background. It's about time for afternoon tea. So I guess you want me to be here to Shanghai or something. Sounds fine. Are you to Shanghai?
I'm in the city.
Hanako's here? Alone? That's a surprise. I don't wonder she's like this. She's surrounded by people entirely by herself. That works out well. I'm just wandering around there now. Where are you? Hanako manages to stumble out the street name, address, and some basic directions to where she is. Lucky it's not too far, so I agree to see her soon before hanging up. I look up to the sky. Summer heat is beating down. This is the first time Hanako's asked for us to do something together beyond a simple board game. The first time, at least since I've known her, that she's come to the city by herself. Maybe this means that Lily was right. By the time I managed to stagger up to the cafe where Hanako is, I started to wheeze again. I'm sweating so much that I feel like a melting popsicle and can barely hold the bag in my hand. I need to sit down, badly. The table outside are all occupied by busily chatting couples and girls gossiping between themselves. The contrast between the different age groups and fashion of the people here in the town from the town near Yamako is striking. I scan over the people sitting at the tables, but I can't see Hanako. She did say she was sitting outside, so I must just be missing her. Not difficult given how small she is. Given how small she usually tries to make a presence. Although I can get more slowly this time. Take a particular care to see if I can find Hanako's hat. It's pretty distinctive, and I'd be surprised if she wasn't wearing it. There she is. Sure enough, her head is kept low, and she's sitting at its right beside the building in an inconspicuous corner. I walk up to where she is and make sure I have her attention before I sit, lest I give her a scare. She notices me and gives a small wave as I arrive at the table.
Are you feeling okay?
I try my best to laugh it off, but doing so just makes me more out of my breath. Not very fit these days, don't mind me. Hanako nods, but still looks a bit put off. Now that I can get a good look at her face, something about her seems a bit different. I'm not sure if my eyes are playing tricks on me, but she looks kinda nice. Her eyes move upwards toward me before flicking down again. I begin to think this is gonna be a quiet meeting, but a waitress thankfully arrives and sets down a cup of tea in front of Hanako. Hanako almost automatically turns slightly away and lowers the side of her head. It's an amazingly practiced motion and does a good job of its intended purpose, hiding her scars from someone who's leaning in close. Her right arm is still laying on the table though, with the scarring on the back of her hand quite visible. Catches the waitress' eye and I move to quickly distract her. Excuse me, may I place an order? The waitress nods and gives me a couple of seconds to look at the menu. Could I have a mango smoothie, please? She gets a nod before enthusiastically bouncing aside. Everything is so different in the city in more ways than one. Hanako looks back up towards me and adjusts her hat a little. If she noticed the waitress staring at her scar, she doesn't show it.
Not coffee?
I think I'd die from this heat if I had something like coffee right now. Resting my head in my hand, I look to my quiet companion. She seems taken aback at a very unexpected reaction to my lame joke. An unwelcome emotion bubbles up inside of me as I realize the reason why. Unlike most in Yamako, and indeed anyone like the my condition goes beyond the limiting activities I can do. Or to be more precise, breaching those limits could have much more grave consequences. Thankfully, it's something that's very come up since I entered Yamako. I think that was so weird that Hanako and Lily might think of it at all. It turns out that I was wrong. Hanako silently drinks her tea while I wait for my drink, confirming that it's the right temperature with a small sip before she begins in earnest. I feel guilty for being the cause of an uncomfortable silence in the past. I've been kind of Hanako for those. Eventually, same waitress as before bounces up, handing me my drink. I gather change from my pocket, drops into her waiting hand. Before she goes up to attend to another customer, my eyes linger on her as she walks away.
Do you think that she looks pretty?
Hanako's following my gaze, her eyes taking in the waitress to serve us. She felt my blood slowly going to my cheeks as I rest my smoothie back on the table. Nah, can't wait saying I'm really into that look. She looks a lot like an old friend I knew before my heart attack.
Did you have many friends?
Had a few in my previous school, and I'm done here right now. Alright, I'm back from eating. We exchange morning greetings before I take my seat. I have to admit that this is a bit of a relief. This gives me at least a few more minutes to think. Not that I haven't been doing so previously ever since our trip to town. Hanako's been on my mind. I'm gonna see something. I still don't know what to make of my relationship to Hanako. I like her, I can admit that much to myself. I want to protect her and shield her from the pain she feels. I don't think my feelings are those of friendship anymore. But that said, I feel like I don't even know her. If I made a move on her, how would she take it? Is she in an emotional state to allow herself to make a reasonable decisions about a relationship? How would she cope with anything that might happen afterward? There's also the possibility that I'm just completely misinterpreting Hanako, and that's a difficult thing to do with someone whose social skills seem to be so underdeveloped. Sound of footsteps come up to the door, making me perk up. Ends up just being Miki. She barely acknowledges my existence when I accidentally make eye contact with her. I'm about to look away, but when another person comes in not long after she takes her seat. Find myself freeze as I see Hanako enter. This is an irrational reaction, but I have no idea how I should react or what I should say to her. For a moment, our eyes meet. Then, just as quickly as she looks away to move to her seat without saying a word. As is now usual for the period following classes, my face is buried deep in a book that I found thoroughly uninteresting. Studying is not something that comes naturally to me. I didn't study a lot before coming to Yamako, and until now, I've already managed to coast through on talent alone. It's frustrating that I can't do that anymore. Dude, go on YouTube and search up all of this stuff. That's what I do, but I just have an interest in science and history, or social studies. So I just search that up a lot, and I watch shows on it a lot. Judging by the faces of the few students in the library, I don't think I'm alone in my distaste for this. Misery loves company, I suppose. I decided to spend lunchtime with Hanako since we haven't had lunch together for a while now. I may as well have spent this time studying though, aside from pathetically small snippets of small talk. There was barely a word said between us. Why does she keep doing this to me? I just want to protect her, to be there for her. But every time I feel like we're coming closer, we end up further away.
Are you busy?
Hanako! My head whips around in surprise, causing her to retreat and fight. That was bad timing, but I had been thinking about her at that very moment. I probably wouldn't have been nearly so startled. Sorry, you just startled me. I find myself staring at her longer than I should. So I go back to the text lying on the table in front of me. I feel like and just staring at the words rather than actually reading. I get the feeling Hanako can notice this as well, so I sigh and close the book. What's up?
I was just wondering what you were reading.
She looks a little downcast at my reaction to seeing her. Giving up on the prospect of getting any more work, then I get up and return the book to its place on the nearby shelf. Just an English textbook.
Has it helped?
It helped me realize that I don't like English. Yeah. Hanako gives a small giggle. I may muse on the strange state of our friendship, but I do know that such little gestures are things that I wouldn't see well not at least some distance closer to her than when we first came met. I look at her for a moment, thinking about what I do and don't know about her. It's just like a depressing topic.
Is something wrong?
If I want to know more about her, maybe I should stop being so evasive about it. Talking with Lily as an equal rather than being constantly in fear of causing her to become upset worked fine. I should try a straightforward approach with Hanako as well. Hey Hanako, do you mind if I ask you a question?
I don't mind.
I want to know what your life was like. Your life before coming to Yamako. She hesitates. I briefly considered backing off, but she seems to be taking the question quite seriously. I sit and watch her, silently letting her take her time. She's not making eye contact with me and looks almost as if she's arguing with herself and letting herself open up to me more. Her answer finally comes in a stiff, almost reluctant nod. She looks far more tense than she did before I ask.
Okay, but in return, you have to tell me about your life as well.
I nod and follow her as she begins to walk out of the library so we can talk. By now, most of the students have already left the main building, so apart from a few people hovering around club rooms, the hallways are largely empty. I guess we'll start with coming to Yamako. Let's see, I was in the hospital when my parents first told me about Yamako Academy. The doctors told me I shouldn't go to my old school anymore. My parents agreed and persuaded me to apply for Yamako, even though it would mean living far away from them for the first time.
It must have been hard for you.
We have to admit that it was. My parents both worked long hours and full time, so having to live reasonably independent wasn't anything new to me. I think the fact that I was going to school for disabled students that hit hardest, I think. And you? Why, phone? Small group of chatting girls passes us as we near the stairs with Hanako pressing herself tightly to my side till we reach the ground floor. She doesn't usually come this close when we're just walking into school, so I'm left a little put off.
The staff at the orphanage offered me some options on what I could do. Middle school hadn't been so good, so I thought Yamako might be better. It was isolated, and I thought it might be easier to get by here.
The button doesn't work on the phone to mute it. Oh, got it. You have to push really hard.
It was isolated, and I thought it would be easier to get by here, with most of the others being disabled.
It's pretty ironic that the reason Hanako looked forward to the recorded exact reason why I hated it. To me, it felt like I was being shunted away something away from society and everyone I knew. To Hanako, that was probably an inviting prospect. What was life like at the orphanage?
It was okay. The staff were nice and they took care of us. The children there didn't talk to me much, but I didn't really want to talk with them either, so I didn't mind. The orphanage had a little library, so I started to read to pass the time. The staff didn't mind it because it made me easier to handle than many of the other children.
You didn't make any friends there?
No, I think my life was on hold during that time. I knew that, but I didn't mind.
I think her life was on hold all that time, though depending on when the fire happened. That was a huge chunk of her life. No parents, no friends, apparently no relatives. We walked through the door into the courtyard. I expect the need to avert my eyes from the sun. But by now it's well in the sunset. Hanako's eyes keep flicking to me, so I look away from her for a bit.
What was it like in the hospital?
I quickly clear my thoughts and try to focus them. I hesitate for a bit, but I know that I have to tell her. We're close enough for her to feel comfortable telling me this, so it's only fair that I reciprocate. It was okay at times, but at others, it was pretty bad. At the beginning, everyone sent their sympathies and came to visit often. It was just like breaking an arm or something. Meeting all my friends was one of the good times. Hanako came in often as well, more often than anyone else. But there were bad times too, when my friends slowly stopped visiting. I began to realize how grave my situation was. It reminded me that this just wasn't a broken limb by now, that I was now a different person than before. Even the times Hanako would spend with me became torturous. By the end, we were reduced to silence, whereas before she'd be talking constantly. But that's just how Hanako always was. She may have been a fragile person, but she would talk constantly to try and hide the fact. Not about anything in particular, just talk. I think the three lowest points must have been when my parents told me I wouldn't be going to my old school anymore, my birthday passing while in the hospital, and when Hanako left for the first time. We leave the school buildings behind us and we begin to follow the main path through the gardens. There may have been the odd bystander in the school buildings, but outside we practically alone.
What was your middle school like?
I liked it. I grew up in a really metropolitan area and the middle school was nearby, so it was pretty crowded. I didn't mind it, probably because I'm used to being in crowds and around lots of other people. I got good grades and played soccer with my friends. I spent a fair bit of time hanging out with them after school as well. Did get teased a bit over my hair though.
Your hair?
I grimaced a little as I put my hand over my hair to cover it. I keep getting tufts and strands that I refuse to flatten or stay where I wanted them. Dude, I had the same thing. One part that hit my hair just does not want to go down. No matter like how much gel you put in it, it just like refuses and go back up. And my mother wouldn't let me just get my hair shaved. They had a habit of popping out, no matter how much I tried to brush it down.
It still does a little.
I was worried I'd get that reply.
So sorry, I didn't mean to.
I gave a mild laugh and waved it off. It's fine, I know it still does. Feels strange to have someone act so interested in my past. If it were for anyone else, I think they were just acting polite. But that's something I really don't think Hanako would do. If she did, she'd do it so badly that it would be obvious. There were a number of girls in the common room on the ground floor, and Hanako presses herself to my side once more as we pass them. I expect her to break off, but instead she continues to cling on to me as we walk towards the stairway. Saying about the way she's holding on to me feels different from the casual. I'm left deep in thought as we walk up the stairs and down the hallway. It's only when we stop that I look up and realize I've been following her without question. Why did we come to your dormitory room? She looks straight at the door without so much as a glance in my direction. Hanako? She moves to answer but stops herself. So she suddenly breaks from my side, opens the doors and steps inside. I look him down the hallway, a little less of respect as you. Shrugging, I said to follow her since I don't have any reason to do otherwise. Hanako stands in the middle of a room and looks straight at me. It's unnerving when she does this as much as an unusual action for her, and I'm gonna end it right here. I wouldn't say a lot. The four of us just hung around together after school and stuff.
Do you still talk to them?
I can't do her voice anymore. Dude, I play America. My throat is sore and my voice is way more. Shake my head. No, we gradually lost contact while I was stuck in the hospital.
You're not saddened by that? Or angry?
Hanako looked genuinely surprised. I guess it's a reaction. Well, life did move on for them while I was stuck in the ward. I was pretty sore about it at the time, but now it's just a bunch of nice memories. Besides, once I came to Yamako, I found new friends as well. It's quite a whitewash on what my feelings were back then. I went through some dark times during my stay at the hospital, and I really am glad that Hanako and Lily were around to help me after I left it. Hanako blushes as we both get down to enjoying our drinks. She seems to have calmed down since I arrived, and I've started to feel a little better now that I've already had the chance to rest a bit. So this is getting to be a nice outing already. Even if she's calmer than before though, she's still fidgeting a little. She runs her hand down one of her bangs to try to think of something to say. That's right, I was going to ask. Hanako tilts her head quizzically. What do they do when they do it? Like, huh? Like they tilt their head to the right? Like what? I didn't know you had a mobile phone. How'd you get my number?
Lily gave it to me.
I should have guessed. You know, I could have just asked. I have given it to you. Want to exchange? Want to exchange email address? Oh my god! Nobody exchanges email address. Two. The only thing I use my email address is making accounts. But what kind of question is that? Want to exchange email addresses? Oh my god. Hanako nods, setting down her drink and fishing out her phone from her pocket as I do the same. It's surprisingly the same model as mine. Pink though. Well, I doubt all phones back then look. But I think this takes place like 2012, maybe 2007. But the game with me 2012. Nice phone. She looked at me with very curious expression before noticing my phone and giggling. It's one of giggling before one of the very times I've seen Hanako let her guard down enough to do such a thing.
I didn't pick it out myself though.
Oh?
It was a present from Lily. I never really needed a phone and I couldn't afford one. She bought me one for Christmas though, saying that we could use it to keep in touch.
They see each other basically every day, both in and out of school. Then again, Lily does have her class representative duties and other friends that she talks with. It probably helps for situations like this too, when she's gone away for a while. Lily is a very special person to you, isn't she?
She is. I love her very much.
Hannah looks down and smiles as she thinks of her. None of my friendships were deep as theirs. I have to admit myself that I'm a little jealous of the relationship. We tell each other our email addresses. My name is www.hisaonakai.16@yahoo.com. I did make that up. We tell each other our email and dump them into our respective phones, and I get Hanako's number from earlier and put it into my contacts list.
Done. That makes 3 now.
3?
Lily, Akira, and you.
Ah, Akira, she's an interesting person, isn't she?
She is. She's also really nice though. Her suit makes her look a bit cool.
A little surprised, but you know that each other, like, what with her job taking up so much of her time. Hannah looks down a little and takes another sip of a drink. If I was to look intently at her face, I'd miss a smile pushed on it. I guess when she knows so few people, those she knows must mean a lot to her.
How many do you have?
Me? About 9 or 10. I hated to go into them for fear of rubbing the fact that Hanako doesn't have parents, or apparently even close relatives. 2 of those are Shizune and Misha too, which is another can of worms. I imagine that Lily would have more than both of us put together, probably. Hanako gives a childish giggle, and I can't help but smiling. It's a good feeling that she's gotten this comfortable around me at times like this. I feel like I'm getting close to talking to her to herself. Do you mind if I ask something that I've been wondering? Hanako shakes her head as she takes the last sip of her tea, finishing it off. You don't seem very jealous of Lily having lots of friends. Would you want to make some more friends yourself, or get to know some of hers?
I'm not jealous. I don't like people, so I don't mind of not having many friends.
It's not really the answer. I was expecting. She doesn't look fearful or sad as she says this, but words are quite serious. I gotta go do something. Hanako wraps her arms awkwardly. I haven't taken my quietness as a reason to continue. I'm not really sure what I should say, and I end up simply giving them attention in silence.
In middle school, I got bullied a lot. I was called names and got excluded from work groups and sport teams. There were worse things too.
That's what made you not like other people? She shakes her head.
That was elementary school.
Feel bad for bringing this up now. Adults don't have enough problems dealing with Hanako's scarring. Children would be all the worse. I assumed that the way she tried to make her presence not felt was just to avoid people staring at her or because she was afraid of them. Certainly not because she genuinely didn't want to interact with them in the first place as well. I noticed the condensation from my neglected movie forming a little puddle around the bottom of the cup, so I take the opportunity to finish it off. After that drink, she begins to fiddle with her phone. It looks like she remembered the people around her again and began to tense up. It isn't exactly a cheap phone I just see, but quite a wide to afford one when I got mine. If Lily went to a private school, she probably wouldn't have too much trouble getting one for a present though. Watching her fiddle with it gives me an idea. Hey Hanako, wait for me, I'll be right back. I put the now empty cup down, slipped my phone into my pocket, and began to move off, carefully stepping on the bag I placed beside my feet. Thankfully, sitting while talking to Hanako has helped me feel a lot better than before. Dude, I would look in that bag.
Wait, what? Where were you going?
Just stay here, I'll be back in a bit. No, I won't. As much as I like to jog back on her forward, I couldn't. I ended up walking back to the cafe, a little blue bag in my hand. Hanako noticed me quickly, looking about as confused as she did when I left. I deposited the diminutive bag in front of her and sit back down. This is literally like college school grade level reading right here.
Is this?
It's for you. You can open it. Oh my god, first gifts.
But...
Cut, wrong button. Go on. She looks very unsure about it, but eventually gives in. I would've been like, come on, open it. But slowly opens the bag and picks its contents out. A silver chain phone strap dangles from her fingers, ending in a delicate flower. It isn't exactly a masterwork of jewelry, but it's as much as I could afford. Wow, Hisao! You get her a phone strap that I don't think anybody knows what it is. Nice. 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 Kind of gotten at something else. Hanako's eyes light up when she looks at it. It's the kind of reaction I was hoping for. The summer sunlight glints off the silver and as it twists to and fro a little. It's not too ostentatious, but still looks a little charming. I think it suits her well. Hanako lowers the phone strap to the table and looks at me once more. She's smiling.
But it's not Christmas or my birthday.
Fine, don't worry about it. I just thought it'd be nice to have something to decorate your phone with. If you don't want it, I'll take it back.
I don't have anything to give you.
Told you it's fine. Friends can give things to each other like this sometimes, right? Dude, here's the next... I don't know. Doing our friend zone.
Friends.
Hanako lowers her face and much I can't see her expression. She eventually nods before taking her phone and fiddling with the strap to attach it properly. Wow, that looks really weird. She looks to me and smiles as she holds up her phone, now adorned with a little flower.
Thank you, Hisao.
Her smile proves infectious. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice a couple getting up and leaving. That reminds me that the bus back to the town below Yamako will be coming soon. I guess I'd better be gone if I want to catch the next bus back to town. You coming as well?
Yes.
She hastily nods before carefully putting her phone back into her pocket and getting out of her chair. I do the same and pick up the bag I'd left beside me on the way out. We walk side by side as we make our way to the bus station, exchanging no words between us. Hanako's gaze is firmly locked ahead of her, though she looks very happy with herself. I'm not sure what I should say to her, but I'm also not sure that I need to say anything. The fact that Hanako is happy and happy because of me is enough to make the load on my arm feel light as a feather. Right now, my chest is hurting. It's hard to breathe. Every time I take an inhale, it hurts. I am 100% like Hisao. I can die. I'm getting dizzy. Wait, I'm okay. Finally reaching the classroom with the usual walk from the dormitories, I step inside my eyes and immediately turn to the third seat from the left in the back row, Hanako's seat. It's empty, and after glancing around the classroom, it looks like she isn't here yet. The two girls from the newspaper club are here, and the two seats to the left of Hanako's, as are Shizune and Misha. But that's about it.